Well, the time has come to move to the next phase, which is to take the edit group that we've created and actually start editing it. And the first thing that hit me in the eye when I do the drop down menu and I have the edit items for the editing the edit group, updating the database, is that I should have both a seen and an unseen. And the reason for that will become clear when we start to actually implement that code. If we select the change selected and then go down to the drop down items collection, click on the ellipse, we bring up the items collection editor, and what we want to do is add another member. So click the add button, and first off we want to change it to a good title, so set this A to Z and copy and paste this title, which is pretty close to what we want, and then select our new menu item and paste the old name and change seen to unseen. And then we want to give this a text of unseen. And then the next thing we want to do is select it and move it up so it's right under the scene. We can do that with these arrows. It moves up the selected item or moves it down, or you can delete it. And then click OK. And then the next thing we want to change is select the scene and go down to check on click and change that to true, which basically means every time you click on this, it'll either set a checkbox over here or it'll unset the checkbox if it's already checked. And then we want to do the same thing for the scene or the unseen. Set the check on click to true. So to actually implement the code, we, as usual, double click on the item we want to implement. So if we double click on scene, it goes to the event MSSI listing change selected scene clicked. And the code we want for this basically has a local string, str_sql, for our SQL string. And in that we put an update DVDs set and then scene equals to true. Probably the simplest update we've had so far, or statement. And then we have where DVD ID n, and we use the globally set edit list that has that string of DVD IDs that are in the edit list. So this will change every record in the edit list to have scene equal to true. And we create a MySQL command object with that string and the shared connection, and then execute it with execute non-query, since we don't need to get any data back. And then we call our populate listing with edit list and use the globally defined edit string. So this will refresh that edit list with our new data in it. And another thing we want to do is change the default behavior of the check. We want to, no matter what the state of the checkbox is, we want to set the unseen to unchecked, and we want to set the seen to checked, because whenever we click on seen, we want everybody to be seen. So this has to be false and this has to be true. And then if we double click on the unseen, we create the unseen click event. And this code is pretty much identical to the code above, except we set everybody in the edit group to false instead of to true. So we have update DVDs set scene equal to false, word DVD ID in parentheses edit group in parentheses, and once again have a MySQL command object created and an execute non-query executed. And of course we have to call the populate listing with edit group with our edit list to refresh the screen and show what the data currently looks like after we did this change. So if we save this code and execute it, and then we go to the listing and click unseen, and then click on list all DVDs, it'll give us all our unseen DVDs. So you can click and control click to select individual ones, or you can click and shift click to select a contiguous group, or you can hold down the left mouse button and drag a tracking rectangle in order to select your edit group. So I'll do it that way since it's pretty fast. And if we click on change selected, that creates the edit group. And you notice these are all unseen at the moment. So if we click on the seen, this refreshes and now these are all seen. And if we go back and click on the unseen, notice there's a checkbox on the seen. And if we click on the unseen, this refreshes and we can see they're all unseen again, which is good because I want them to go back into the actual state they're supposed to be in. And you notice that the unseen is checked now and the seen is unchecked. So we're really changing the way the checkbox works by default by putting it in the code for the event handler, because whenever we click we want that to be checked and we want the mutually exclusive alternative to be unchecked. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a lot, and I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe.